Hello everyone, welcome to Fabrics in Motion. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to create a suit in Clo3D or Marvellous Designer. This tutorial is divided into two parts, and this is the part 1 where we will focus on designing the suit pants using a pattern I created. First, we will create the waistband of the pants. Copy and paste the waistband to create two pattern pieces, then arrange them around the avatar waist. Use the segment sewing tool to sew them together, strengthen the waistband and simulate. Next, split the lower edge of the waistband into two equal segments. Now, use the rectangle tool to create a large piece of fabric. Bring the reference pattern using the graphic tool. Scale the graphic to match the length of the pants you want to create. Using the internal line tool or press G, trace the pants pattern. Curve the lines where necessary. Then use trace as pattern to generate the actual pattern pieces. Once that is done, delete the temporary fabric used for tracing. Arrange the pant pieces around the avatar's leg. Sew them to the waistband and sew the side seams together, then simulate. If the pant appears too short or hanging, extend the length slightly and simulate again. Sew the back that's closed and simulate. Now let's work on the hem and pockets on one leg. For the hem, select the hemline and create an internal line of about 1.5 up, or any measurement you prefer. Select the same line and create an outline pattern using the same measurements. Create an internal line between them, then use the fold arrangement tool to fold the outline pattern inside the pants. Sew the internal lines to the outline to form the hem. Then sew the side seam and simulate. Select the fold line and enable fold rendering to create a clean finished hem. Next, let's create the front pockets. Select all the lines that define the pocket shape and use trace as pattern. Sew the pocket pieces to the waistband and the pant. Temporarily deactivate the front pattern piece to avoid distortion and simulate. Select the pocket again, this time using the internal lines to define the pocket bag. Sew it to the first pocket line, simulate and flip normal if needed. Deactivate the front pant again if you haven't deactivated it, and simulate so the pocket falls inside the garment. cut and delete the pattern section to create the pocket opening. Then sew the inner pocket back to the front pants. For the back pocket, we will create a fox pocket. Select the internal rectangle on the back pants and use trace as pattern. Sew it to the internal line. Select the top and bottom edge. Use distribute internal line between segments to divide it evenly. Then cut to create the pocket detail. Now, select all pattern pieces except the waistband and choose symmetric pattern with sewing to create the other leg and pocket. Sew everything together and simulate. Next, let's create the zipper flap. Select the internal lines that form the zip flap and trace as pattern. Flip the pattern horizontally. Sew it to the flap line. Deactivate the other pattern piece and simulate. Measure the top edge of the flap pattern. Cut the front waistband into 2 equal parts. Extend half connected to the zipper by 1.371 inch. Then sew the flap to the waistband. Copy and paste the flap pattern. Flip it horizontally, sew it to the pant, set it to superimpose under and simulate. Select the flap lines and create an internal line of 0.371 inch. You can either use the zipper tool and adjust it in the property editor, or simply sew the two internal lines together to close the zip area. Create an outline pattern on the opposite side of the front waistband, measuring 5.371 inch. Curve the end, then add a button and buttonhole using the button tool and fasten it. Add an additional button inside the waistband. You can also add a cloned layer beneath the waistband for a clean, professional finish. Finally, create an internal lines on both the front and back pant pieces for the crease. Select these lines, enable fold rendering, and set the fold angle to 90 degrees to create a sharp pant crease. And that's it. You now have your suit pants completed in Clo3D. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to use the pattern linked in the description to create your own pantsuit. See you in part 2 where we create the top suit. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.